Hello everybody, and welcome to this segment of TGIF, where we embrace the truth that these girls are flawsome. Today our segment is entitled, So I've Had a Dream, Now What? Today we have with us Minster Robin Bush, and I call her minister because she truly ministers to us. She's a part of the House of David Apostolic Temple family for the past 2 years. Welcome, Robin. I am so glad you are here. I have a habit of doing this because I just get excited.
I get excited too.
Yes, I told you.
I know.
Here we go. So, Robin, how are you?
I'm doing good.
You look beautiful. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. This is just...
this is exciting.
It is.
It's exciting when God gives you a dream or a vision, and look what's happened here.
That's right.
It's already started.
Oh, wow.
It's everything that happens comes out of a dream or a vision. Any great person comes out of a dream or a vision that they've had. So people think that dreams don't matter much or what they do, but they do. Look at this. Look where we're here right now.
And
This
I just
is
saw
the beginning
it.
of something.
Yes.
That's right. You had the vision, but it came from God, and you didn't discard it.
No.
You didn't throw it away. You said, "Okay, God, let's go. Let's do something.
Let's
with
do this."
And look at here
Oh,
we are.
wow.
Here we are.
You threw me for a loop when you just said that. That's good. That's good because that's what we want. We don't want to discard what God has for us.
Exactly.
So that's why you're here today.
And that's it. Sometimes people think that is too simple. It's too simple. What difference will it make if I do something? And even me with writing a book.
Right.
People say, "Robin, you need to write a book." And I'm like, there are books on dreams. There are plenty of books on dreams. Why do I need to write a book? And I listened to someone and they said, it's your story.
It's your story.
It's yours. There is nobody that has your slant but you. And everybody has their own slant, and they have their own story, and they have their own uniqueness, even in dreams, which is exciting because God knows us, so He speaks to us according to us.
That's good.
He knows Vicki, and what He showed you was a vision of something that you jumped on.
Yes.
You just went with it.
And I had to go with it because I had no idea what to do with it.
Exactly.
So except God does it.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen.
And did you notice that once you started doing one thing, the other things began to fall into place?
They either fell into place or they fell off.
Yes.
If it was not of God, some of that stuff fell off.
Exactly.
Some things I just don't have time to do anymore.
Right.
Because He has my focus here.
And your heart is here.
Absolutely.
He's taken your heart and He's given it to you through a dream, through a vision. And sometimes we don't even realize that that's the stepping stone to get us where we're supposed to be.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
The book started, I'm one of those, it could be dreams for dummies. Because, I mean, it's like, here's all the trial, here's all the error. I mean, all this stuff that I did. When I was younger, I always had dreams. And at the time, I didn't really know much about dreams, and I would dream things, and they would come to pass, but it wasn't always good. I didn't realize that God was speaking to me in a way that maybe I could pray, or I could maybe have a different outcome
at a young
to
age?
the dreams at a young age. So then I...
well, how old were you when you realized that you were dreaming?
The first dream that I had, that I remember, I was about 2 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I wasn't even talking well. I remember.
You sound like my daughter. I can't remember when I was, but she can.
I know, there's funny things, and there's things in my life I don't always remember, but dreams have threaded through my life for a long time. I became a nurse and worked in nursing, which is very different from dream interpretation. And the Lord started calling me to become more serious with dream interpretation. And I kept fighting Him. I'm like, I'm a nurse. This is what I've done. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to change professions at an older age. That's what I said. God had His other designs. And so next thing you know, I'm writing this book, and I sat down one day, and I probably wrote 30 pages in probably 2 hours.
What's the name of the book?
It's called Strategic Dreams. Basically, I've had a dream, now what? What do you do? One thing in my journey of really learning to interpret dreams was what's important.
Yeah.
You have a dream, and you don't remember things, and you try to write things down, and you don't know what's important. So as I began my journey, the Lord gave me what I call journal jot, and that's something that I made up. It's a journal that prompts you with your dreams.
Wow.
So it goes in, you're like, colors are important. So it asks you what colors. Direction is important. It'll ask you, did you see a direction?
Right.
Did you see different things? A lot of times, things that don't seem important in a dream are really important.
Right.
And some things that seem really important are not important. So even in the book, I wrote trial and error. There's just different stories, little stories of things that have happened with me as in my journey with the Lord. My mistakes, believe me, some of them are comical. You're like, really? Are you really that stupid? You don't get that God's talking to you. You know, there was a dream I had. One dream I had every night for probably 2.5 months.
Oh wow.
And I had over and over and over again. And you would think I would catch that God's trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
But God was like, you need to talk to
But
this
a lot of
person.
us do that.
We do.
We don't know.
We have recurring dreams and we don't know.
Yeah. Unless you know God.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. One day I finally said to him, are you trying to tell me something?
So we have that
no. You know, exactly.
Yeah, we don't know because we don't ask. So, and some of the questions that you get from people, because I just know in our ministry, I'm just talking about us, how people, hey, Minster Robin, I'm dreaming this. Can you tell me what this means? Where do you go to capture? I remember a dream I gave you, and you went way back. You somehow went back to my dad.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that blew my mind because that was never ever something that I had discussed with the whole lot of people.
We didn't even know.
No, and then, but for you to take me back there to help me understand what was going on with me.
That's a really good question because it comes down to trust. And one thing, when you begin to take your dreams seriously, you learn to seek God's face. You learn to ask Him and dig deep into what He's saying.
Right.
But there's something that I realized that what He's given to me, and it can be imparted to others. It's not like it's just like you're the only one.
Right.
But I have abstract thinking.
What?
And what I mean is like if
when I think about abstract, I'm thinking over there. That would
and
be
sometimes that happens because I mean honestly, the dream that she's referring to, it wasn't right there. It wasn't out in the open. But as what I do is I ask the Lord. One of the things that I say in the book is the answer is in the question.
Right.
And I ask the Lord, what questions do I need to ask regarding this dream?
Wow. Okay.
So when people come to me and they ask me about their dreams, I ask them, what question do I need to ask them? Because He shows me things almost immediately, but I don't always know what I'm seeing. I see things and I'll hear things, but I have to test that spirit. You don't just want to jump in and start saying, oh, well, you messed up here, you did this, or you did that, because it may have nothing to do with that at all. So you have to really test it. So he may say, ask this person about, their father. Say their father. We'll just say, that's not exactly how it happened, but just ask them about their father. And I said, what is your relationship with your father? Then bam, they can go in. Typically, once you ask the right question, people will go right in and all of a sudden things come up. And then you're able to let them know what it means. It's like taking a puzzle and putting the pieces together.
Yeah, and it's like our dreams are a counseling tool. If that makes sense.
It opens
a way for our issue to be counseled.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes,
I think that makes sense. Because somebody has to minister that to us. To me, this stuff is not for amateurs.
Right.
This is not for
The faint heart.
dreaming, beginner dreaming 101.
Right. No, it's not.
There are some dreams that we're having that are on a whole nother level in a whole different atmosphere. And it takes a special person to be able to get there.
Exactly. If you're having that dream, then God is saying to you, it's time to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because there are things that are in our lives that have been in our lives for many years, and all of a sudden it'll come up. But it's just like silver or gold when you're refining it, the dross or the junk comes to the top so it can be removed. So if you sit on that dream and don't do anything with it, it's just sitting there.
Wow.
It's like a cesspool. What's it going to do? It's not going to do anything. And God has brought it to that point where it's up to the surface, and it's time to take care of things. Then you can go. Yes. And there are times that He talks to me, even when I wrote the book, there was a section in there that I did not want to write. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna. So I kept trying to get the book. So then a prophet comes and says, your book is not going to be published until you do this section. And I was like, I don't want to do it.
I don't want to write that one.
I didn't. And I took a sabbatical, a month, and I just sat before the Lord. And I will say the good first 2 weeks I just sat there.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I fasted. I hadn't determined to fast, but that's what happened.
Yes.
It was a byproduct of really seeking God's face and Him talking to my heart. And it had to do with visions, because visions are different than dreams.
Yes, that was one of the questions.
And yes, there they are. They're different.
Yes.
And a lot of times, if you're prophetically having visions, you need to have somebody who's an anchor, who's going to help you catch reality and not fall into a place of I think a lot of times people think they have mental problems when they don't have problems. They're just seeing visions of what's ahead, and they haven't had the teaching of somebody to be able to sort through that with them and say, hey, this is a vision. When you look at like Ezekiel or Daniel, the visions, they were terrified at times over the things that they saw. And I have too. I've just been like, whoa, what am I doing with this? But the Lord had me share mostly that you're not mental. And there's so many people, there are so many Christians and non-Christians. It doesn't, dreams are not, they're not set out for just one person or one section. Everybody has dreams, everybody has visions. But so I did the whole section, so I finally took it and did it. But it was a challenge.
But it helped you to get that book out too.
It did. It did. And it also helped me in my personal life to get through and settle in some things of who I was, that I was okay.
And see, that's good. Because even in interpreting the dream, you had to have gone through
I had to go through
yourself.
Exactly. And it's not, dreams are not as scary as you think they are. They're not always scary. They're simple, and sometimes you'll have a little dream that maybe just one word, and you don't need the interpretation. It's very clear what it is. The first dream that was interpreted in the Bible was clear. It was very clear. You sleep with this woman, you're going to be in trouble. It was a king. Abraham and Sarah had gone to a country, and the king was a righteous king. He wasn't a bad king, but he took Sarah into his harem. God had a covenant with Abraham over Sarah's womb. He was not going to contaminate that womb. And he told the king, "I'm shutting out all the wombs. You're not doing anything. and you're dead." And he said, "You're a dead man." And the king got the message. And he went to Abraham, "Why didn't you tell me that was your wife?" You know, and then on top of it, which I think is amazing, is he blessed Abraham. He gave him all these camels and all this stuff, and he went away. He still went away blessed, regardless of what he had done. And that's the first dream that's recorded. So there was no need for interpretation.
So are there different types of dreamers? You said something a minute ago about the dross being on the top of the valuable thing. So unless we get that part, all that other stuff, and a lot of times our dreams is that surface stuff. in order for us to get to the value.
Exactly.
So a lot of times we don't value ourselves because we have the issue
Right.
that's sitting on the surface.
Or we see the dross, we see all
Yes,
the garbage,
we see
but
all
we
this
don't see
in
underneath.
ourselves.
Exactly.
And we can't get to God. We can't get to that valuable,
Exactly.
to that soul, that
Right.
nugget,
Right.
because we got this stuff
On top.
sitting on top.
Exactly.
So somebody has to come sometimes and say, hey, and identify the trash.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And sometimes your dreams are allowing you to identify
it's
the
true.
thing that needs to go away.
And I always say, you know, we talk all the time, especially as women. We talk.
Mhm.
Sometimes the only time God can talk to us is when we shut up and go to sleep. You know, because
Are you trying to
talking? I'm just saying.
Talk
I'm just
about me,
saying.
you just come. I
I'm
got
just
it.
saying. I'm just saying. Because we do. We talk.
Yes.
We talk,
Mhm.
and it's like I had a friend.
That's why we had this show.
Yes. Well, there you go.
I needed somebody to talk to. No.
There you go. Yeah, right. But I mean, I had a friend, and I would laugh because she would just say, I go into the throne room of God and I'm talking to him, da 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 da, and I'm telling him all this stuff, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to her, and I'm waiting for her to say, and God said, and I said, well, what did you do after you finished talking to him? She goes, well, I laughed. And I said, I can see it now. God's going, You're going, what am I supposed to do about this?
And we leave before we get the answer.
Before we get the answer, and it's like
Yes.
that. And so you have dreams sometimes, and he'll come to you. Just like when I had that recurring dream, he kept saying, you need to talk to this person. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to this person.
Right, right.
But it was like he did that. And there are times that it's something simple, like he'll give you a name or something.
Yes.
And
Oh my
it's like,
gosh,
pay
yes.
attention.
Uh-huh.
You know, you may hear a name. Like I've actually heard first and last names at times.
Yeah.
And all of a
I heard
sudden
a
I'll
name
meet
this morning.
somebody. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't God good? He's so cool.
Yeah, I heard this name this morning, and I'm nosy. I said, God, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What do you want me
What
to
do
do
we
with
do
that?
about this?
And I prayed about it, and then I heard immediately. I know exactly where he is. So the person I was praying
Right.
for, God was letting me know. I know exactly where he is. That ain't nothing for you to worry about. Thank you for
So
praying
cool.
for him.
That is so cool.
But it was just
But
so awesome.
he knew that you would pray for them.
Yeah.
He brought you that
Yeah.
name because he knew you would pray. And
Wow.
the more you give into your dreams and you take the time to find out what God has to say, the more he entrusts to you.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
and so you'll begin to do more.
So what do you do with the thing when you are? I see stuff and I'm not even asleep. So what do we do with that? What is that? That's the vision.
That is vision.
Is that the vision? Because to me, a dream is when you sleep, and a vision is when you're awake.
It's not always, because sometimes, I mean, like,
That's the only way I can.
when you, okay, 1 Corinthians 12.
Deja vu. Remember the deja vu
Yes,
stuff?
yes.
Yeah.
Paul says, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell.
Right.
So there are times that you don't know if you're dreaming or
I like
having
that.
a vision
Yes.
or what you're doing, what's going on. And what you have to do is set that aside and say, God, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we get so caught up in what it is that we forget to find out what
What
the
it-
message is
Yes.
and what he's saying to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But there are times that you'll have like what I call a flash. You're
Mhm.
driving down
Mhm.
the road,
Yes.
you see an accident,
Yes.
and you think, gee, maybe I need to go someplace, or what do I need to do?
Mhm.
My thing is, I tell people, ask God, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, if you see it, that's like if you're going that direction, he may be saying go another direction.
Right.
He may say pray for this person. Whatever he
Let me
tells
tell you this dumb thing I did. Now that you just said that. So the kids and I are riding down the freeway. I'm in a hurry to get them to this place. So I turn my GPS on because I don't know where I'm going.
Right.
So, but I know I need to go up I-35. My GPS is saying, no, take Forest Hill Drive. And I'm telling my GPS, no, I'm going to 35 because the Forest Hill Drive is the long way. I get to 35 and I get stuck on the bridge because the traffic is backed up like crazy. And me with didn't follow the GPS, the compass that God was giving us. Sometimes we know.
Yes, I know.
We think we know. And I'm just as right, but yes, you can get to it that way. But God is
It's
saying,
not the best way to get there.
right, it's not the best way to get there. And a lot of
He
times,
tries to help us.
I believe with dreamers, we think we know what the dream means.
No, the book is almost every dream misinterpreted.
Wow.
And what happens, you have things going on in your life at a certain time that you know, when you were saying, no, I'm not gonna go that way, you were stressed. There's kids in the car, there's things going on, there's all of those things going on.
I was trying to hurry up and get them out of my car.
Exactly, and you're like, God, I don't have time for you.
Yeah. Well.
But that's what we're saying. I mean, and I'm only saying that because I'm saying it to myself. But that's what happens.
Yes.
When God said, there's times He said to me, "Do this," and I'm like, "Really now? Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
But I learned that when He says, "Do it now," I do it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my days. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect because I'm really the halo balls, you know, a lot, you know. But I mean. It makes you understand that, you know, people say, I don't know why this happened. I don't know why God didn't tell me. But God tells us stuff all the time.
Yes.
If we would take the time to listen.
Yes.
And part of it is just tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you go to Channel 4, you're not going to have Channel 6's news.
Right.
You're going to have Channel 4 news.
Yes.
If God is on Channel 5, and that's how you need to tune into Him, that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn. As a nurse, when I worked in intensive care, I worked more in an administrative position, but they're different beeps. And when I first went on the unit, I didn't hear them.
Right.
I didn't hear any of them.
Mm-hmm.
But because of being on that unit and being trained, this one means an IV's out, this one means a person's coding, this one means this one means that.
Right.
I tuned into those and I could hear them a mile away. I could be walking down the street here and go, oh, that person has this.
Right.
So it's the same thing with God.
Wow.
Are we going to tune into Him and find out what that tune is, what it is? So when He says to you, Vicki, follow the GPS, you'll be like,
I will
I
from
think I'm
now
gonna
on.
follow the GPS, you know. So it's like, or if He says, Robin, you need to just stop and get a code.
Yes.
You'll stop and get a code. I won't try to talk it out.
Right.
Yes, I'll do this.
Right.
For what He's doing and where He's going.
And we just need to follow the reason.
Exactly. We don't know. We don't know what divine appointments are in our path.
Right.
We don't know who needs Jesus that would not meet Him if we were not there.
Right.
And how many times have we not been there or been there? The times that you're there, you're like, whoa, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But how many times have we missed it?
Yes.
You know? And the book itself talks about some missed opportunities to where it was very plain that because of my pride, my ex-husband's pride, things that we did, caused there to be a chain reaction of problems because of it. And so it's
a lot.
He was ear to ear.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Give us the name of your book one more time.
Okay.
And when will it be available? Where can you tell us that now? Or do you have a page? Can we follow you? Can we
I will
keep up
have
with
a
your
page.
book?
It's in the
Because we're gonna do this again. Yeah, we're gonna do this again.
It's in the process of being published. The publisher is Page Publishing, and they give you a website. It's Strategic Dreams. Also, I've had a dream. Now what?
Yes.
I have 2 titles, so it could come under either one. And it's right now going to print, so it should be out by the end of the year. It'll be out soon.
So well, I am so glad to finally get you here, and we will be doing this again. Thank you so much for joining us for this segment of TGIF. It has been awesome, and we will see you again. Blossom! Blossom! And we'll see you next week.